So Pearl Abyss has come under a lot of scrutiny lately. Okay. And to be clear, this is not because of me necessarily. Obviously not because of me. This has to do with the Korean streamers. So the bullying behavior is harassment, guys. This is translated from Korean. And essentially what is going on the Korean server is there is sexual harassment in game going on for female streamers and like female players. And apparently it's pretty serious. And in Korea, they are much stricter about the sexual harassment laws. In America, we just call that Twitch chat. But in Korea, they are definitely a lot more serious about stuff like this. So, they have been Pearl Abyss is between a rock and a hard place on this, guys. The community obviously does not want streamer privilege. And to be fair, streamers shouldn't have privilege, right? Just because you stream the game shouldn't give you a privilege over another player in any way. That's just the way that it goes. Unless you're, of course, if you're running an event that is like sponsored by the game or like, you know, in some way or something like that, that's like big for the community. Okay, well then, yeah, your stream should be probably prioritized in that case. People, you know, you could be more enforcing of that. But in a general rule, if you're just streaming the game, you should be necessarily treated better than, you know, any other player. So these people have been bullying streamers and harassing streamers. And keep in mind, this is not normal harassment, guys. This is like, yeah, they're going around, they're following them server to server, they're killing people. But from my understanding, it's also there's a substantial degree of sexual harassment that goes into this as well. So it's gotten pretty serious. And since now there's legal counsel involved now, because again, in Korea, sexual harassment is taken extremely seriously. They've actually changed their guidelines now for harassment in BDOs. So these are some pretty big changes we're about to go through here. Remember, guys, this is translated from Korean. So as I read this, just understand it's going to be a little broken up. Hello, this is Black Desert. We would like to provide guidance on our position and direction for improvement regarding bullying behavior that has been recently discussed among adventurers. Although we have made several updates preventing okay, instead of bullying, I'm going to use harassment. This is directly translated from Korean. They mean harassment. There are still adventurers who have difficulty playing the game due to harassment. No. I wouldn't. Maybe they just saw my mental boom. You know what I mean? Accordingly, we would like to improve harassment behavior in the following directions. Harassment used the forced attack function. Okay, harassment using the forced attack function. So what this is flagging in PvP. This is open world flagging in PvP. We will improve the system to prevent victims from occurring through the forced attack function. What that means, guys, is that when somebody flags on you for PvP and you die to mobs, you will no longer lose crystals and they will lose karma dying to the mobs. If you die to mobs, if they flag and they hit you and then you die to mobs, they will lose karma. And you don't lose a crystal. First, we will improve the situation with so-called mobs, which cause the monster to take the last attack of a forced attack. Again, this is feeding people to mobs, causing no damage to the assailant. You see, because they realize that what this does is people don't lose karma for feeding you to mobs, so they get away scot-free with it. And the victim receiving a death penalty, like losing a crystal, right? As follows. If a character is killed by a monster within a certain period of time after receiving a forced attack, the character will not receive death penalties, including crystal destruction. No more feeding people to mobs. It's no longer a thing. In the above situation, the perpetrator character who last attacked the victim receives the disposition penalty. What that means is they're going to lose a karma penalty. If they feed you to mobs, not only can you not lose crystals, but as I said before, they now take the karma penalty too. What this will mean is that the second that anybody flags up for PvP and tries to hit you, people are just going to take off their gear and run into the mobs like a kamikaze pilot. Unironically. I hate that there's not really a better analogy for that, but like that's basically what that is gonna like don't flag on people for PvP, guys, because like you're gonna lose all the karma. you are gonna lose karma really fast, dude. Yeah, like it's gonna be a karma bombing clown fiesta. In the process of general hunting, we'll apply it through sufficient verification and testing to ensure that no disadvantages arise to the above improvement. So like they're gonna make sure that there's no bugs. Harassment using the location verification function. So guys, when they removed the black robe function for North America and Europe, by the way, this is a W change. That's going to be controversial for me to say. I do not care. This is a W change for the game. Feeding people to mobs is some of the most toxic behavior in the game. This is an incredible W change. Okay? It will have the side effect that if players are trying to harass people in PvP, that they're going to lose karma way faster. But let's be honest, guys. Even if somebody does like the kamikaze route where they just take their gear, you flag on them and they just run it down on the mobs and you lose a bunch of karma, it takes like 20 minutes to get your karma back. So like realistically speaking, it doesn't matter a whole lot, right? Like no big deal. Like the biggest thing is that you will go red very quickly and then people can kill you and then you're going to lose crystals, right? So like that's a thing. But like this is a big W change for the game. I really don't care. Like, as somebody that's been harassed the last 2 months, I understand open world PvP is hurting, but, like, this is what you get, bro. You keep harassing people really badly, and this isn't even for me. They're not changing this for North American or EU streamers or anything like that. This is because the Korean community is harassing the shit out of each other really badly. And they're just going to keep cracking down. Like, if you keep abusing the PvP system, they're going to keep cracking down on the PvP system. And this is what's going to happen. And I like, this is a W change, though. PvPers and PvEers alike, this is a win. Getting fed to mobs sucks. That really sucks. You really don't like that at all. So, like, I think that's just an objective win. Now, if we move on to their next bullet point here, they say harassment using the location verification function. They're talking about the black robe. This was already removed on North America and EU. And in KR, it was used to great effect recently to basically hunt their streamers and their content creators and then other people in the game, like I said, particularly females, in a lot of cases, into the ground so that they couldn't leave safe zones and stuff. So they're removing the black robe NPC from the Korean server. Okay. Harassment using in-game chat. Thanks, Long. I appreciate it, buddy. All right, so now this is the in-game chat function, boys. You know that Pearl Abyss has been really light on this in the past. People could just say the N-word and take like a 2-day chat ban. You know what I mean? Like it's been kind of rough, you know. We will be taking strong action against direct damage such as character attacks as well as harassment through chat. We plan to form a dedicated team to respond more quickly to report violations of our operational privacy, and we plan to revise our operating policy to take stronger measures against harassment. The main points are as follows: reinforcement of the usage restrictions on the number of sanctions when using unhealthy chat. Game access restrictions apply from the 3rd time or higher. Okay, so they're cracking down. In other words, the penalties are going to get much more severe on people that say bad words and bad things in the game, particularly sexual harassment, because that's what this is primarily about. Sanctions for unhealthy chat are not per account, but it is carried out on a per person basis. Other operational privacy details scheduled for revision can be found below. So we're going to go through the exact operational privacy because there's a lot of stuff that they don't cover is in here. And I'm going to show you guys, I read through it already, so I'm going to show you guys exactly what they changed so that we all understand what the TOS is going to be moving forward here. Additionally, even if an account is currently sanctioned for violating the operational privacy, the same violation can be committed through a sub account. They're talking about alternate accounts. So like people will get banned on one account and then they'll just come in on another account and they'll just keep harassing somebody. Since the operational policy is being revised, if accounts using the same name repeatedly violate the privacy policy, game access restrictions may apply. So until this point, guys, essentially what this means, until this point, when you got permanently banned from BDO or even temporarily banned, they still allowed you to get on another account and continue again. That will not necessarily be the case moving forward. All of the improvements mentioned above are being prepared and reflected in the live service in February, and we will inform you through the patch notes as soon as they are updated. How's it going, Dragonborn? In addition, we will actively review situations where loopholes in the game system are exploited or the system is used to harass other adventurers, and we will find and quickly apply improvements. In the future, as mentioned by adventurers, we will never tolerate any harassing behavior that causes inconvenience to others to the extent that they cannot play the game normally, and we'll do our best to create a healthy gaming environment. Thank you. Thank God, W changes. I don't give a damn. If you feel that this is a bad thing for the game, you're the problem. You are the problem. If you think that anything in this article is bad, honest to God, this is a huge W. Huge W. Massive changes. Now, here's the exact operational privacy. So, like, so I read through all of this so that you guys don't have to. There's a lot of R. You see all this. There's a lot of R. Go next. All right. So I'm going to go to the very important things so that you guys understand what the critical parts that are being changed in this actually are. Okay. So now this is their exact usage restriction policy. Okay. They're changing it. The blue text is the new stuff. All right. Depending on the... Okay. So this is talking about... types of sanctions, warning, this is a temporary form of a sanction, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so this is the temporary restriction and permanent use restrictions. Okay, so this is people getting banned temporarily or permanently. Depending on the severity of the member's violation, use of the game services may be restricted for all accounts in the member's name. And these measures also apply to re-registered or newly created accounts after withdrawal. So when you get banned from the game now, they have the right to ban you permanently. If you try to make a new account, thanks for the money. Banned again. Okay? They will keep banning you. They will keep banning you over and over and over and over and over and over again. Okay? You get banned, it's done now. So guys, hold on to your account butts because don't say or do anything stupid. It's very simple. Stop harassing people. It's very simple. Let's go on to the next change. Criteria for application of sanctions. When warning, period of usage, or permanent usage restrictions. So this is temporary. So like if you get warned, temporary bans or permanent bans, okay, they can literally disconnect you from the game immediately. Okay, forced connection termination means they will literally just remove it. Like, remember how in the League of Legends load screen, if you said something stupid in the game before, you could just be banned in champion select of the next game? Yeah, just like that. Use restrictions on all accounts with the same name at the same time. So they'll literally just permanently ban every single account that you have within minutes of you messing up. Okay. All right, next one. This one's sanctions standard table. Okay. So again, this is saying if multiple continuous accounts with the same name are discovered, permanent bans may apply to all accounts with the same name. So again, they're just kind of blanket changing this across the board. They're not necessarily saying that they're going to do this on every single ban, but this is theoretically they could where they want to. It's like depending on the severity of the situation, right? If a violation is confirmed, sanctions corresponding to the violation will be imposed, and depending on the situation, forced connection termination may occur simultaneously. So again, they can immediately disconnect you from the game. Gameplay refers to all actions from client launch connection to termination. So in other words, if they find you breaking their ToS from the time that you open the launcher to the time that you close the game, like not to the tray, when you close the game altogether, they can ban you if there's any sort of account violation in there anyway. Okay, server attack behavior. This is just like DDoSing the servers and whatnot. Then they added this entire new sections about programs and macros. Okay, so creating programs, macros, devices, and devices that neutralize the technical position, measures, or the service, or that interfere with normal operation. they're just outlining what a macro is here. Playing the game using unauthorized programs or macros. When actions that appear to be typical patterns of unauthorized programs and macros users are confirmed in the game's data. If you are detected as an abnormal user by the security system provided by the company. When detected by the company's abnormal use detected system. Yeah, this is just like if they find you using a macro, that this is what they're going to do to you. If the behavior is continuously confirmed on a specific ISP or PC, measures such as IP use restrictions and PC use restrictions may be taken simultaneously. Disgusting. What's up, Aries? How you doing, man? Welcome back for 24 months, man. 2 full years at tier 3. Love you, buddy. Miss you, man. So again, they will literally IP ban you now. That's what they're saying. They said that above too. They're literally going to IP and PC ban you. Okay, actual hardware bans. Okay, so like if you wanted to play BDO again, you'd literally have to move and get a new machine. If it is necessary to check whether unauthorized programs or macros are being used through reports, tips, operating may unexpectedly request a response from the user through chat or other methods. What that means is that the GMs have the right to message you directly if they catch you macroing in game. So in other words, and I've heard about this happening. I've not seen it with my own eyes, but I've heard of it happening. People are sitting there grinding. It used to happen a lot at the Stars End Pillars. So people that I knew would like basically spam the same skill over and over while they watched The Office on the other monitor, and a GM, like our GM team, would spawn in next to them and be like, "Hey man, you actually here?" And unless you respond in chat, they're going to ban you. Okay? So like that's what they mean by this. Unauthorized programs refer to devices and programs not permitted by the company that neutralize technical protection measures and security devices or enable abnormal gameplay beyond the scope of the normal gameplay. Macro refers to a program that uses software or hardware functions to automate and execute the work of an input device, keyboard or mouse, with just one input. Gameplay refers to all actions, client execution, connection determination. First ban, permanent use subscription or restriction. I think that this is honestly too harsh. Again, we saw this basically get abused when the Red Dragon got banned. He accidentally, like when he was getting up from his computer, he accidentally hit one of the macro keys. Like I have macro keys on my keyboard too. I have disabled them all, but like they are there. And he hit one of them, and it just casted a skill on his character. And that technically counts as a one-use macro, and they permanently banned him from the game. I think that's a little rough. I think that there should be discretion used depending on how severe it is. You know what I mean? But it's their game. They can do what they want with it. All right. Production and distributions of unauthorized programs or macro. Creating and distributing programs, macros, devices, or devices that neutralize the technical protection measures and security devices or service or interfere with normal operation. Creating and distributing programs, macros, devices, or devices that enable abnormal gameplay. Okay, I'm going to boil this down for you guys. Essentially, if you are caught teaching other people how to macro in any way, they're going to ban you too. You're banned. Do not show people how to do this. Like, that means, like, do not, under no circumstances should you be showing people how to exploit in the game. For any reason. We went over this before. You should not show people how to exploit in the game. Use of unauthorized programs and client tampering. Okay, obviously, yeah, this is like the use of like, this would be like the CSGO equivalent of like aim hacks and stuff. Like, don't use unauthorized programs, guys. No, they're not talking about your Logitech software. Okay. They're not talking about like your mouse software. There are people that have told me that they've been banned for that in the past, but like, I don't know. I use my Logitech software all the time, so like, I don't know. Use macros. Using macros to gain an unfair advantage, such as acquiring in-game goods, using items, or using convenience functions when a specific or abnormal pattern is identified through game data and a macro user is detected. Okay, so again, they're cracking down on macro use. Don't do it. Macro refers to hardware, software, or other devices that functions that allow you to input a series of commands with only one or few inputs. If confirmation, I'm actually curious. A lot of people play on potato mode, like the Minecraft graphics guys. Technically, that is NVIDIA software. interacting with the game to bring the game down to the lowest possible graphic settings, lower than you can actually bring it down to in game. Like the NVIDIA like setting, I would show you guys how to do it, but then again, that would be showing you guys how to technically do it. Like that's a mistake, right? But like essentially, that would technically be against their ToS, but like so many people do that. I'd love to see them clarify whether or not that's actually legal. Like I've never heard of anyone getting banned for using the NVIDIA software to like lower their game graphics, but like according to their text here, it technically could be bannable. So like I'd love to see them clarify that so that people don't get banned and they just don't expect it, right? No one should be banned for that right now. It's a gray area. Like they need to clarify whether that's legal or not. But yeah, that's it's a huge advantage. No leaves. Yeah, exactly. Like it does present a huge advantage to players. So like I don't know, man. Like if your answers are incorrect or you, oh, okay, here we go. So if confirmation macro use is required through report steps, etc., the operator may unexpectedly, guys, the operator is a GM. So if a game master may unexpectedly request a response from the user through chat or other methods, like I was saying before, they can literally spawn in or just whisper you and be like, hey, are you there? Operating macros during gameplay. Yeah. So again, we talked about this as the macro stuff.
GM spawns and ask you a math question. You need to get it right.
As long as you respond, you should be okay. If you don't respond, they have the right to ban you, is all they're really saying here. Customer center abuse and counselor human rights violations. So again, this has a lot to do with like the in-game chat functions and people being harassed, like sexually harassed and like scarily harassed, guys. Scarily harassed. Like this is literally, you're talking about the violation of the counselor's human rights. My guess is that again, that refers to like if you do anything that is considered sexual harassment within the confines of BDO, yeah, so they're gonna be banning people for this. Chat use restriction standard table. So they've added a lot with the chat use restriction here. In the case of world server or group, okay, so when chat use is restricted, a chat ban may be imposed without prior warning. So if you say something stupid, they'll just chat ban you. Okay. In the case of world server and group chat, more stringent sanctions may be applied considering the impact of the unspecified number of users in the game. So if you said the N-word in world chat, they're going to give you a much more severe restriction than if you said it in whisper. Okay. Because you said it to a lot more people. Okay, and I think that's a W change. W change. So the GM bans you, then asks if you're there, then bans your account for not chatting. No. The GM spawns in or they whisper you in some way, and you have to respond. If you don't respond, they consider you macroing and they ban you. Not paying attention, banned. Jail. Macroing, jail. Not macroing, jail. No response, believe it or not, still jail. So if you continue to chat excessively with content that does not fit the purpose of each chat group, you may be expelled from the chat group. Okay, so these are in-game chat groups, guys. This is like the blue chat groups down here. If you are adding content to that is toxic or shouldn't be in that chat group, they can remove you from the chat group. Okay, so that's a new change as well. The cumulative number of chat violations will be reset if there's no history of chat restrictions in the past 1 year. So in other words, it's escalating. The first time you get chat restricted a number of days, then they keep chat restricting you more and more, like for longer periods of time. But if you don't get chat restricted for a full year, that system resets. One thing that they're adding that I'm kind of glossing over here is that you can now be permanently banned if you abuse chat enough times. So this is it right here. The maximum number of sanctions is repeatedly imposed. A permanent ban restriction may be applied. So they are proposing literally just removing you from the game if you try to use bad words or poor behavior, harassment behavior enough times. So again, here's the first round. You get a 1-day chat ban. The second round, you get a chat ban for 7 days. The third time, you get a 7-day game use restriction. So you say a homophobic slur, racial slur 1, 2, 3 times, boom, it's actually a 7-day ban from the game. The fourth one is a 15-day game use restriction, so that's half a month. The fifth one is a 30-day game use restriction, and then they permanently ban you. I think that this is honestly almost still too generous. If I'm being honest, like bro, how many times does somebody have to like be racist for us to just ban these people, right? Even if the person is actually gay. I don't care if you're gay, and I don't care if you're black. When you're in the general chat, world chat, server chat, you should not be using that language. It doesn't matter. You should set the example for whatever demographic that you feel like you represent. You don't want people to use those words, don't use those words. Okay, so yeah, this is more about the chat ban stuff. Okay, yeah, but guys, that's basically all of the new operational privacy stuff. Again, they're removing feeding people to mobs, and then they're cracking down much harder on chat restrictions, macro restrictions, and then how they go about banning people within the game. So, like, let me know what you guys think about it when the video goes up on YouTube.